Welcome to Sugar, Spice, and Spirits, where happy hour meets hustle, and the only thing stronger than our cocktails are our opinions. Get ready to laugh, learn, and maybe question a few life choices. Cheers to being a little smarter and a whole lot spicier. So grab your drink, kick back, and let's mix a little business with a whole lot of fun. Because around here, success is always on the menu.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another special episode of Sugar, Spice, and Spirit. I am one of your hosts, Mindy Price. I also have my partners over here, Natalie Pilkington and Kelly Mobley. How are we, ladies?
I'm Kelly Williams.
My God.
That's okay. That's okay, guys. Everyone, I haven't been married that long, so we're giving her a little bit of a grace period because, to be perfectly frank with you, sometimes I'll go into an appointment and they'll call Kelly Williams and I'll just sit there. So I can't even give Mindy a hard time when I can't even remember my new name. So you're off the hook this time, Mindy. So no problem. She's known me way longer as Mobley than Williams, so we're good.
Okay, and Kelly Williams. And the reason I said another special episode is because I'm traveling again. The last special episode where we had that we weren't all together was when I was in Las Vegas. And I'm not in Las Vegas. I'm actually not anywhere in the U.S. I am in Ireland. Let's see if I can say it right now. We arrived to this part of Ireland this morning, and I'm still really off on time, y'all. Like, I'm so tired, and we were supposed to be here. Killarney. Somebody's going to call in. It's not our radio show, so they can't call in, but somebody's going to say Killarney. All right, y'all. Killarney. Killarney. So I'm in Killarney, Ireland. My brother was so kind to treat my son Gavin to a nice vacation for his graduation present. And so here I am tagging along, and we thought it would be fun to do a quick episode with you all. And so with that, so we can let Natalie and Kelly jump on in, I will start with my drink of the day. We all have different drinks because when we travel, we each get to choose what we want. And so my drink happens to be none other than, if you're watching this, an Irish coffee. I have not tasted it. I waited to taste mine until I was with you all. So I will take my first sip, and then you all can tell us what you are drinking. So here's mine. Let's see. Hopefully I don't make a face.
I mean, you can't go wrong with coffee and liquor. I think it's kind of good.
Oh my.
Yeah, I like the mustache.
Yeah. And let's add also that it's in Ireland, so there is that.
Like, that's stout. I'm not saying it's not that.
Not an American coffee. Mindy's not going to sleep. She thought she was tired until she had a sip.
Well, that, and I think it's loaded.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you will be.
Oh, it's burning going down.
Well,
what she was expecting, guys, I can tell you that right now. She likes it stout and stiff, but she didn't expect it that stiff.
So were you expecting like a Bailey's in coffee or something, or what?
No, whenever I was in Vegas, there's a place at Mandalay Bay. They have an Irish pub that's there, and it's a really good Irish coffee. I think it has a little more brown sugar, and this one may not have any sugar. However, the coffee is strong, but it's the alcohol content is strong.
Okay.
Fantastic. I'll go next.
I don't know. Let me try another little sip. Let me just
try another one. Let us know. We'll see how you progress in this show today, Mindy. Mine is very simple. I was out at the grocery store, so then I'm like, oh no, I gotta come home. I have an HEB root beer along with some coconut rum, and let's see how this goes.
That sounds good.
It does sound good.
It's almost like a root beer coconut, like a very flavorful drink. I like it. I will be doing this again. So that's my spirit of the day.
I noticed you don't have ice. It wasn't because you're waiting on us this time.
No, I was rushing. I was the one that was rushing. I did not put ice in it because I filled it too full of root beer, and I still had to put coconut in it, like the rum. So I was like, no ice. So yeah, that's on me.
Why not? So I was so jealous of Mindy being in Ireland that I didn't want to be indoors. So I am at my house in Texas still, but I am actually poolside. And so I decided I would just go easy breezy. And one of these go-to drinks, Cayman Jack. This is a watermelon margarita. It's great to be outdoors, hot and sweaty. But I also have it in my Where's My Cabana Boy cup to keep it extra cold. And I have the cup, but no Cabana Boy.
I know. I was like, where is Mr. Williams?
He's working. He's working. So yeah, trying to keep the Cabana. We call this the Cabana compound, as a matter of fact. So I guess he was the official Cabana boy. So, but let's try it. Yeah, it's really refreshing. It's sweet and sparkly, and they've got watermelon, regular, strawberry, and they have like some different types of flavors, some with spicy flavor, but I'm just kind of this plain old Jane-O go-to. So, and it's real simple. It's real easy. Throw it in the ice chest and go if you don't have time to actually make your own drinks. So I tend to be a little on the simple side. So this is perfect for
Oh
me.
my gosh, Natalie, did you hear that? Plain old Jane-O. Look at her sparkly hat and everything else about Kelly. There's nothing simple
Just simple on this.
about Kelly Williams.
I do like the bling. I do
Tell
like
us the story about the diamond and the, no, I'm just kidding. When you were getting on the special VIP list and fight list.
Oh, yeah,
You don't have to share it, but it was just,
no, I know, but I
simple.
actually had to go to the jewelry store because I am helping my daughter move, and I'm like a bull in a china cabinet or whatever you call it. I don't tend to do things very easy breezy. I just like go headstrong, and I actually broke my ring, and so this ring, and I got it back, but when I was up there, I happened to have on a Louis Vuitton belt and a purse, and suddenly the guy invited me to their VIP handbag event, and I was like, oh, Mindy, guess where we're going, Natalie? Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, different day, different story. So, but yeah, I did kind of fall into that one very easily.
You did. I was like, simple. So here's the thing. Speaking of simple, so we talked about, we literally just jumped on here, and I was like, what do we want to talk about? Like, luck of the Irish. And when I think of luck, sometimes you can have good luck and sometimes you can manifest things. It can be part of your destiny. I don't know, ladies, how you feel about this, but I'll tell you how I feel about this. There are people who are just naturally lucky. Kelly, you and I have a friend named Michelle. It seems like she wins everything. She's going to buy a lotto ticket. She's never won the lottery, but she's won guns. You can tell, again, we're from Texas. But she, is constantly getting things. She's an amazing human and a great person. But when I think of somebody that's lucky, I think of her and her husband. They just tend to be in the right situations at the right time, but they're also very hard workers. They're incredible humans. And there's a lot of times I'm like, man, I don't have the luck when it comes to that. But I will say everything that I've done in my career has maybe been luck in the very beginning, but I learned very early on that if I wanted something, I had to have grit. I had to go for it. I had to put myself in sometimes uncomfortable situations where I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I learned. And then I practiced, and then I studied, and then I asked questions, and I had a team like you all that I can go to where I'm like, hey, I'm not really sure about this piece, Natalie. Natalie, before I knew multifamily, single family had some rent homes, but I didn't know a lot when we were working together. And if I had questions, you were my go-to person. And after talking to you and listening to you, I was like, I got it. I get it. Kelly, on the medical side, there are certain things that different ailments. And when I was a caregiver for my mother and things that I was dealing with, I could call you up when I couldn't get in touch with the doctor. And I could say, how would you handle this situation? Tell me medically, tell me practically, what would you do if it was you? And so you're lucky you're in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it. But I also think that you create your own. Kelly, you are cracking me up right now.
Sorry,
she just keeps lounging back. For those that are listening, which 90% of you are, she just keeps lounging back and the camera's going with her. I guess she's on her laptop and it's just going and she's just trying to get comfortable. She's like scooching back in her lounge chair at the Cabana poolside.
In her compound. She's surrounded by three different, pieces of the whole house. And
I know. I'm trying to get comfortable because I was leaning forward and my back was hurt. Anyways, I'm paying attention now. I'm sorry.
Look, you're even distracting the monkey, the vacation monkey.
I wish you guys could see this monkey. If you're only listening, this monkey has been, yeah.
He's traveled more than us.
Yes. Yeah. He's awesome. Going to what you were saying about being lucky, I do think that being lucky is sometimes about, like you said, being in the right place at the right time. And I think how you take that particular situation, whether if you consider it lucky, but then how you expand on it. I was in a situation not too long ago where the company I was working for was downsizing, and I was in a very high management position, and me and a lot of the other managers knew that we were either going to be let go or demoted or whatever. And I was just, after 30 years in the medical field, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen because I didn't really want to go back to the field, to the clinical side of things. So I happened to be in the right place at the right time with a certain friend of mine who heard what was going on and said, hey, I may have something for you. And what do you know? It turned out to be a fabulous opportunity. And I ended up working with Natalie and with Mindy, and learned so much in a short period of time. And so I really do consider myself blessed to have been lucky enough to be in Mindy's presence that night when she overheard it. And I was actually talking to her husband. I wasn't talking to her. She overheard it and said, "Hey, I may have something that could work out for you." So yeah, so I think being in the right place, the right time is key. But what you do with that, a lot of times really is totally up to you as to whether or not you make that successful, or you do that. Not really sure this is what I want, but you have to be able to take the ball and run with it. So yeah, I absolutely believe that is something that is out there for all of us to grasp and look at those opportunities as lucky and then run with it.
What about you, Natalie?
Yeah, I think luck has something to do with it, but I also think a lot of it's mentality. It's you expect what what you get. Like if you are expecting to lose, you're going to lose. And I don't know why. I can't explain that. There was the book Secrets or something like that was out there, which if you manifest it, it'll come to you. I don't remember, but it was really popular about 10 years ago. And it's just, if you're putting it out there, but I also just think if you're putting in the work, you're putting in the effort, and you're actually putting in, it's like there's this blonde and she keeps praying to the Lord. She's like, dear Lord, let me win the lottery. Like, please, please, Lord, I'm faithful. I'm all this. And I really need to win the lottery. And the Lord's listening to her. And he's finally had enough. He's like, I can only hear this prayer so much. And he bellows down to the blonde and he says, help me out, buy a lottery ticket. I mean, you got to buy the lottery ticket. You got to put your name in the hat. You got to show up. You got to be able to be there to be able to win. So you can pray it all day long. I want to be skinny, but I'm not putting in the work and going to the gym and I'm putting crap in my body. Then, I can pray it all day long, but you still got to put in the work and do it. Yep. And I mean, true, some genetics is in it. If you're smaller, if you're, whatever, but it's still, you got to show up and you got to put in some work and put in some effort. So luck of the Irish, I'll take whatever luck. I will pick up a 4-leaf clover. I will look for them. I think that they're fun. I appreciate them, but I also appreciate just my own self. Like I trust myself to get it done. If it needs to get done, I know I'll get it done and handle it. And I appreciate that go get it spirit versus the luck. I also think, I guess, more so in faith. I walk in faith. And when you have that faith, it happens. If you're going to put in the time, effort, and put good karma out there, put good energy out there, good energy is going to be reciprocated. And when you come across somebody who's a little nasty and not so filled with the spirit for the day, you just pray for them and move along, or you try and turn their day around, which Mindy, you're really good at. Just bringing the sunshine and uplifting people. And I think that's more luck. And I'll do finger quotes for luck. I don't think that's luck. I think that's just being a good person and being just a happy spirit. I think things come to you and that's the way it is. Just like you went to NAA, you've gone to Ireland. I think you're rubbing it in our nose a little bit. And I might be just a little bit jealous. But I think
then come to Mexico with me. Let's do one of these in Mexico. In 2 weeks, I'll be there.
I am going because you invited me. I'll be there too. We're just waiting on Kelly to see if she's going to come. But I think that it's really, I think that it's awesome that you really get to go. And I'm truly happy for you that you're getting this experience with your family and you're doing all of that. So luck, grit. You mentioned grit, luck, grit, all are tied in, I think.
So two things. I want to talk about grit here in just a minute. But we said every now and then I was asked for the jokes and you told a story about praying but not moving forward. So one of my favorite jokes about you get a sign, you need to do something with it, is, it's flooding and the police officers come by to all the houses. Hey, it's flooding. You need to evacuate. And this family does not evacuate. So then hours later, it's flooding even more and they're in their second story and the fire truck comes by. It's like, hey, it's flooding. You need to evacuate. Come, let us rescue. No, we're praying. We're waiting for our sign. Then several hours later, they're on the roof. And the helicopter comes by and it's, hey, it's flooding. Come on. We're going to drop the basket. We're going to get you. No, I'm waiting for a sign from the Lord. I'm not going to get in the basket. And then they die. They drown. I know it's kind of sad. And then they get to the pearly gates and they're like, Lord, I thought you were going to give me a sign. Like, why did you let us die? He's like, I sent a police car. I sent a fire truck and I sent a helicopter. How many more signs do you need? So, it's like, yes. And, Natalie, going back to the bringing the sunshine, it's not always easy, but it is a state of mind. And one of the things I started saying a couple of years ago is that, I'm just going to pray for him and give him grace. I can't control every situation. I can't control how people handle a situation. I pray for myself and give myself grace because I don't always handle the situations the right way. But I will say that little switch that I did, and I forgot about it there for a while. And I've really tried to keep that front and center, and it's been super helpful for me. And so if anybody can take that away and you're in that moment, you have that situation, it can be at work, it can be in your personal life, and you just take a deep breath and you remember, pray for them and give them grace and just move forward because we don't know what everybody is going through.
It reminds me of every once in a while you'll see one of those memes or something that pops up and says, just a simple smile to someone can change their day because you don't know what's going on with them. And they could have had a huge fight. They could have just been fired. They could be, sad, whatever. And just passing someone on the street and just giving them just an unsolicited smile sometimes is enough to think, you know what, there is still some good out there. And a lot of times the smile is reciprocated. And if it's not, and they growl at you instead, then you just, like you said, you just pray for them and move on. But yeah, sometimes just that simple smile and bringing the sweetness can be what turns a person's day around. So, yeah, I agree. You definitely bring the chin.
So 3 things. The joke. I had 3 things that happened that made me buy this book. So we talked about grit. So I was having a conversation with somebody. I was on one of their podcasts. It's called Getting to Hell Yes. Really great podcast host. I was a guest of his, and we sat down and we were talking. He's like, Mindy, you've got so much grit. And I was like, well, thanks. And then 2 days later, we were there, and I was talking to somebody who I highly respect and puts all the education together for the National Apartment Association. He was like, Mindy, you've just got so much grit. And I was like, I heard that before. Okay. I'm in the plane, y'all, on the way home. One of my friends sitting behind me, they know I love to read, and they pick up the book by Angela Duckworth called Grit. She's like, Mindy, have you read this? I just started it. I think you would love it. I was like, nope, but I went on to Amazon before we took off and I ordered the book. It did not come in time for the trip, so I actually downloaded it from Audible and I've been listening to it. And it also makes me think about, is it luck? Is it talent? Is it, grit? And I'm at the very beginning of the book, but she talks about studies that were done, and you can look at individuals. And the last thing that I listened to was where she interviewed so many of these spelling bee champions. And there were a lot that were just naturally talented. But when she really dug in to see who placed, it was the ones that put in the extra hour. They were the ones that were constantly practicing. They talked about the West Point graduates. They talked about the Green Berets. They talked about, those that you would give a regular scale test to that just naturally seemed like they would make it. They were the ones that were dropping out. It was the ones that were super diligent, super focused. They were practicing. They wouldn't just take status quo as being okay. They constantly pushed more. And so, again, I'm at the very beginning of this book, but I'm super excited to read it and share what I learned from it. But if anybody else wants to read along with me, it's Grit. It's Angela Duckworth. It's been out for a few years. I brought it up to my brother who's here with me, and he was like, oh my gosh, I read it a couple of years ago. That book is perfect. You're going to absolutely love it. Have either one of you read it?
I have not.
I have not.
So I'm excited to listen to it, but I actually, I'm a highlighter person. I love pages, so I actually like the physical books. And so I can't wait to get it and to go back to those chapters and highlight lessons that I could learn from or have examples that I can share.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah, and what's so funny is when I hear grit, I think of it as the acronym Girls Raised in the South. Grits.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. That
She's
when you
like,
said
"Oh, wait a
grit, I was
minute."
like,
Gris?
wait, what? But
Gris?
no, that's great. I'll check that out too, because that, any good read recommendation. I'm like you. I like the Audible and everything, but I love to just sit down at night when it's quiet and grab a book. And I haven't done that in a really, really long time. So, and I was actually at Target yesterday, and I went to the book section and was just kind of looking, and I didn't get anything, but I did look and thought to myself, I do miss that quiet time and just, curling up, especially if it's raining outside or something. So yeah, I will definitely look into that book and pick that up too.
Natalie, have you read the book?
No. I'll download it on Audible. I don't see how you women have time to sit and read a book. I'm just go, go, go. It's, I don't know.
Airplanes.
I guess not.
I'm
not
on so
my
many
thing.
airplanes.
Miss Traveler, trying to get those miles back up. Yeah, no, I like to do Audible because I'm in the car, being in real estate and being a realtor, it's my life. And so I am an Audible. Plus having a younger one, I like for my kid to hear. Like we were talking to, like we just got back from the grocery store. Certain things make you run to the grocery store, like toilet paper. But so I had to go to the grocery store finally. So I was at the grocery store and we're talking with my 9-year-old, and he's wanting to play in a better soccer team. He's like, I want a better coach. I said, well, you want a better coach, you got to be a better player, and you really got to level up your game. When's the last time you went out and tried to kick the ball against the wall and do this and that? And just having those conversations with him, I think, pouring into your kids in those ways that you can. And when else do you have your kids as a captive audience is in the car. So with my oldest, that's when I'd make him listen to Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's when I'd make him listen to Think and Grow Rich, The Wealthy Barberer, anything along those lines that I can pour in. I love Audible and just having the kids like make them listen to it because it does seep in whenever they hear it. And it's one of those. So I'll be getting it on Audible. I will not be doing the book. So, but yeah, I'll get it.
Well, and I love that, and that you're sharing it with them, and what can you do? And that's the thing. If you don't like the situation you're in, if you're not good at whatever it is that you're trying to do, are you practicing? Are you putting in the effort? Because a lot of things don't just happen by luck. It's how much effort do you want to put in? How much do you really want it? How much do you really care?
And blaming other people. I can't do the victim mentality. It's life is too short to let other people have control over me and to give them that kind of control where it's the coach's fault or it's the teacher's fault or it's my boss's fault or it's anybody else's fault. It's my own damn fault. Let me pull myself up. Let me figure it out and let me get it done. Work smarter, not harder, but just, be diligent. Surround yourself with people who are doing what it is you want to do and want to be better. And I think that's where a lot of people don't do it. They don't want to give up their old habits. They don't want to give up their old friends. They still like going out on the weekend, or you can still go out on the weekend. You don't have to close the club down. Go dance for a little while, go hang out, and then get back. Because you do need to recharge yourself, recharge your battery and make those connections. But who are you really hanging out with, and how are you leveling yourself up? And we all go through moments, and we all go through phases and chapters in our life. I was talking to a girlfriend yesterday, and she'd been on my mind, weighing on my heart, and she reached out to me. So I guess I was on her heart as well. And we talked for about 30 minutes, and she's in a situation where she's in a change of chapters. She's midlife, she's been C-suite. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? Like, why don't you do this for yourself? You did it for everybody else, and pour into yourself and your business, and you'll make it happen, and you'll have the life you want without waiting for somebody else to try and give it to you. And she's like, whoa, it sounds like you're a motivational speaker. I'm like, no, I'm not. But this is just really like, it's our reality as everybody's getting into midlife. It's middle America. It's this Gen X time frame. Companies are downsizing or they're overseeing. Everybody's in a different phase. I know like Chevron's going through layoffs in Houston. They're looking at downsizing, and you've got people that have been with Chevron 20, 30 years in accounting are doing this. And how are you going to reposition yourself? And so if we're going to talk about books, I keep talking about this book, Who Moved My Cheese? We are in a market that is completely different, with different kinds of economic policies and everything, which is fine. But as businesses change and evolve, and as we change and evolve, and we get older and our payroll gets higher and companies look at downsizing, middle management's the first to go. So how are you going to reposition yourself and take advantage of your skill set and knowledge and work as hard for yourself as you did for others? I think as long as people would do that same thing for themselves, and you don't have to get it figured out. You don't have to quit your job, and you don't have to lose your job. But how do you get those multiple streams of income? By working on your business, starting it now while you have an income to build that business. And I think so many times it's not luck, it's how we position ourselves and the steps that we take to be better, to bring better, to do more. Yeah, you may have to sacrifice a couple of nights on the evening to go to a networking event or to do certain things, but you're pouring into yourself to buy years and decades back of your life from corporate America so that you can position yourself to be better. I met a guy too, like this week. I've been going to a lot of events and talking to a lot of people because I really love people. And this gentleman I was talking to, he's like, yeah, he said, I got up to five houses. And I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. You were doing good. But when we were talking at the event, he has an RV park down on the beach. He has student housing. He has single family homes. He has apartment complexes he's passive in. He has his own apartment complex, like 40 unit he owns. He's just listing everything off. And I'm just like, wow, how did you do it? And he said, well, when I ran out of money after my 5th house, I found a private money lender, went to that private money lender. They lent me money, and then their money got too expensive. So he's like, I'm going to go a separate way. And he's like, no, I have a good thing. Like, why don't we become partners? You use my balance sheet. And this guy got up to like 100 houses. And he's like, yeah, I was just blowing and going, doing my own thing. He self-manages, and he's just like real laid back, put his kids through college. And I'm just like, this is what it's about. It's buying your life back. He was in IT, corporate America, just chunking in and buying your life back. So get passive streams of income. You don't have to do real estate. You could do nursing. There's lots of things you can do with nursing that's on your own. That's a side hustle that deals with health in a different way. You can do accounting. You can do marketing. There's so many different things out there, whatever your passion is, and design your life. Like I'll get off
No,
get off
you're
my
exactly right.
soapbox.
I know.
No, you're exactly right, because for years, I have my degree in physical therapy, and so for 30 some odd years, I worked in direct patient care and taking care of the patients that would come to me. I did spinal cord injury and neurology, and then I did some home health with geriatrics so I could chase my kids around and everything. But during that time, I also had a side hustle where I helped found and start up a non-medical home health agency in Louisiana. And all we do is 24-hour care for those who can no longer stay at home and care for themselves. And we've been going strong, covering Louisiana, Mississippi for 25 years. And that is essentially my retirement. And the nice thing is that when I had the unfortunate situation where the clinical side of things changed when my husband got sick and I had to go into more of a paper pushing side of therapy, that's the job that started to shut down. And during all that time, even though I was scared and nervous about my income, I still had a little bit of a cushion income coming in because I had that forethought, thanks to my father, to start a side hustle early on. And it's been kind of my little retirement cushion, even though I still do other things on the side as my primary career. But kind of going back to what you also said is you can have the talent to do something, but talent's not going to get you all the way there. You have to build and expand and grow that talent. You can be a people person, but whether or not you go into a different career, that's totally something different. If you don't have, you can have the talent for that, but you have to find the what to dig in and make yourself better and stand out more, because you're right, as some of these businesses are closing, there's a lot of people out there with talent but a lot more experience. So like you said, you have to dig your heels in and not wait for it to be lucky and fall into your lap. You have to get out there and pursue it and put your talent and put your expertise out there, and not just wait for it to come knock on your door, because it's not always going to come knock on your door.
It won't knock on your door.
No. And you can't just
99.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can't just rely on, so you have those that are talented and things come very naturally to them. And then you have the ones that are studying and figuring things out. Then you have those that are very naturally very charismatic. And I worry that if somebody is always relying on that and their people skills, with as quick as AI is taking over and everyone is able to learn at a much faster pace, you can't just rely on that anymore. You've got to understand the trends. You're going to have to do your homework in whatever field you want to stay in or go in. It's like you're studying again. You're learning. What is the latest thing? What are shortcuts that I can use for AI? And we don't have time to go into that. It's supposed to be a shorter episode today, but there's a lot to me, luck is amazing when you have it and things go the right way, but it's not going to get you through when it comes to business in this day and age. I don't think so. I think a lot of things are changing. I think if we listen back a year from now from this episode and we look at what all has changed, what are we feeling? What do we think about all of this? And we start interviewing a few more people and talking to them, it's going to be interesting to see what it looks like and how many different careers individuals are in. So those, you made reference to Chevron, Natalie, and if they are downsizing and laying off in other companies, how have these individuals been able to reinvent themselves? How did they do it? How did they go about it? Because I think with all of the different opportunities that are out there, if somebody's not happy where they're at right now, there are many things that they can actually do and be successful at. And, this is the age of the overnight millionaire. I still haven't landed that. If anybody wants to tell me how to do that, I'm looking.
Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding. We missed that Bitcoin.
Yeah.
We missed that train.
But, in all seriousness, it's an interesting time that we're in. And one thing that I want to share that I thought about, I think it was you, Natalie, that was talking about the Gen X crew. I can remember getting a little frustrated with the younger generation because it didn't seem like they wanted to put in the effort. They wanted things to happen overnight. And I had employees that I hired that they're like, okay, I've been here 3 months. It's time for a promotion and a raise. And I'm like, you still don't know your full jobs. And that was frustrating. And I talked to a lot of people and, how do you deal with that? And so learning that, one thing that I found is that generation, they want to learn. They don't want to be stagnant. And so I feel like they are going to continue to take on bigger roles because they are going to dig in and dive and figure out what they need to know. I was lucky enough to be a mentor for the 20 on the Rise. And there was a number of that group that came up to me and they're like, I want to meet with you. Can I have some time with you? I want to learn as much as I can. I want to make sure that I don't fall behind and I want to make sure that I continue to push myself forward. And these were individuals that there wasn't an age cutoff. It was just they've been in the business 10 years or less, and they are known as somebody who's on the rise in their career. And that was the one commonality of all of them. They wanted to learn more. They were paying attention in all of the work groups and the workshops that they had, and they were making notes and they were fully engaged. And so it's really neat to see that. And then you think of our generation, it's like, hey, now's not the time to put the pedal off the metal. Now's the time to really dig in and learn all that you can for as much as you want to work and where you want to go now.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
yeah. What were you going to say, Nat?
I was just going to say 20 on the Rise was for your industry, for the apartment industry in the sense. And so it's just people. I wonder if they're going to do a reverse, like 60 and failing, like 60 and falling behind on technology. You know what I mean? Like, okay, now it's their turn to give back to us. Yeah.
No, I don't think in any industry or any right now they're going to do that. That would be like a beep, beep.
Oh,
right. Well, I mean, if your phone breaks, who do you ask? Hey, kid, fix this phone. Like, I can't get it to do this. It's doing this. And they fix it in 2 seconds.
Because I'm almost 60, and there's times that I get so irritated when things that used to seem so easy to me, all of a sudden, my daughter who's about to be 28, I'm like, what is this? And she's like, I can't believe you don't know that. I'm like, well, sorry. I mean, but it is. So like, yeah, when you said 20 on the Rise and I said 60 and sliding.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are sliding. Hey, I got to slide out, y'all. There is a shepherd's pie that is calling my name. I've got 4 minutes to be downstairs to meet my family. I'm just glad we got to do this. And I think the consensus was, and you two correct me if I'm wrong, luck is fantastic. But a lot of times it takes a little bit more than luck. There's some hard work that's in there. Both of them mixed together are pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good combo. You can definitely be successful if you put the two together and work for it.
Yeah. Get multiple streams, keep working, and find a mentor. Like, I think mentors are important. So that 20 on the Rise is valuable. It's you can find a mentor if you're stuck yourself and you need something to do. Go be a mentor. Like in your field, go find a high school that there's lots of mentor programs out there. But
be a mentor. Find a mentor and surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up and make you feel like you're a stronger person and push you.
You know what, Natalie, something you just said, be a mentor. Some folks they feel like they're stuck in a rut. And if they would become a mentor for someone and they see somebody in their field, whether they're in their field or not, however they're coaching and mentoring them, it will help reignite that flame within you that you forgot was there and you remember why you started to begin with. So if you are listening and you find yourself in a position, it's like you used to really love what you did, find someone who's brand new to that field and become their mentor. It will be amazing for you what you will find at the end of the day after working with that person. So
100%. I agree.
All right, everybody. Well, like I said, I've got a shepherd's pie waiting for me. But if you have an episode that you would like to suggest, you can go over to our website at sugarspiceandspirits.com. We will be coming back at you next week. And I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their day.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Sugar, Spice, and Spirits is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are solely those of the host and guests and do not represent those of any affiliated organizations. The content provided is not intended to be a substitute for professional advice, whether legal, financial, medical, or otherwise. Always seek the advice of qualified professionals regarding any questions that you may have. While we aim to keep information accurate and up to date, we make no guarantees of completeness, reliability, or accuracy. Any action you take based on the information presented is strictly at your own risk. Cheers to mixing a little fun and some friendly advice. But remember, sip responsibly and always do your own homework.